Russian propaganda is actively using a new disinformation tactic, staged videos of capturing settlements, according to the Main Intelligence Directorate of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. According to the Main Intelligence Directorate, small groups of occupiers with Russian flags try to slip into individual villages and film short clips to create the illusion of success on the front. These staged scenes are used for victory reports to the Kremlin leadership and for distribution in the media to apply psychological pressure on Ukrainian society. Recently, another video appeared from the village of Andriivka-Klevtsove. At the same time, fighters of the Russian Volunteer Corps, as part of the GUR MO Special Unit Timur, and soldiers of the 5th Separate Heavy Mechanized Brigade showed the real situation on the ground, refuting Russian fakes. Earlier in the village of Zelenski, the Bratstvo unit within Timur eliminated a group of occupiers who had staged photos with a flag for a report. In this case, Russian propaganda will continue its information campaign to discredit Ukrainian authorities by distorting the meaning of peaceful protests in Ukraine. The Ukrainian Center for Countering Disinformation, CCD, issued a warning about this. The CCD notes that Russia is actively exploiting the topic of protests in Ukraine as a tool for information psychological operations. The enemy is attempting to distort the purpose of these actions to impose a Kremlin-favorable interpretation. Russian propaganda resources are already spreading fakes, claiming that the Ukrainian people are allegedly demanding capitulation, overthrow of power, and ending the war at any cost. Alongside these claims are statements that the West should stop supporting Kyiv because the Ukrainian government has lost legitimacy. The CCD suggests that this trend will continue. The Russian authorities may traditionally engage a network of controlled media, bloggers, and influencers in Western countries. The Kremlin will promote narratives about an alleged internal collapse, societal division, and Ukrainians' readiness for a coup. New instances are possible where Russian propaganda falsifies visual materials from peaceful protests in Ukraine, altering posters in photos, adding symbols of the aggressor country, and so on, the CCD warns. They explain that Moscow's main goal is to influence public opinion in Western countries, particularly in the context of political decisions regarding aid to Ukraine.
Kiev residents reacted with skepticism Saturday to the US-Russia summit in Alaska, saying it was hard to understand how the Russian president was welcomed in the US. According to Associated Press, President Donald Trump failed to secure an agreement from Vladimir Putin on Friday to end Russia's war in Ukraine, falling short in his most significant move yet to stop the bloodshed, even after rolling out the red carpet for the man who started it. Trump, who for years has balked at American support for Ukraine and expressed admiration for Putin, had pledged confidently to bring about an end to the war on his first day back in the White House. 7 months later, after berating Zelenski in the Oval Office and stanching the flow of some U.S. military assistance to Kiev, Trump could not bring Putin even to pause the fighting, as his forces make gains on the battlefield. The U.S. president had offered Putin both a carrot and a stick, issuing threats of punishing economic sanctions on Russia while also extending a warm welcome at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, but he appeared to walk away without any concrete progress on ending the war in Ukraine, now in its 4th year. Instead, he handed Putin long-sought recognition on the international stage, after years of Western efforts to make him a pariah over the war and his crackdown on dissent, and forestalled the threat of additional U.S. sanctions. In a sign that the conversations did not yield Trump's preferred result, the two leaders ended what was supposed to be a joint news conference without taking questions from reporters. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Saturday that he plans to meet U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington next week. Zelensky said he held a long and substantive conversation with Trump on Saturday after the U.S. leader met Putin in Alaska. He thanked Trump for an invitation to meet in person in Washington on Monday and said they would discuss all of the details regarding ending the killing and the war. It will be Zelensky's first visit to the U.S. since Trump berated him for being disrespectful during an extraordinary Oval Office meeting in February.
Ніяких результатів нема. Мене дуже сильно дивує, що Трамп керівник, скажімо, міжнародна поліцейська країна, яка завжди порядок намагається втримати в світі, і зустрічається з терористом, якого розшукує весь світ. І він і намагається, і намагається, і намагається. Це просто дивно, що результатів нема і невідомо, чи будуть. Хоча ми очікуємо завжди чогось, без надії сподіваємося.
Я все-таки надіялася, що США йому не постелять нашому ворогу ту доріжку червону. Як так можна зустрічати тирана, не людину, і того, хто бажає не тільки Україні зла, він бажає всім. Просто воно зараз почалося з цієї України. І нехай президент США не думає, що він не буде наступним. Все може бути. Бумеранг є. І він колись повернеться і до нього. Тому що мені дуже боляче, тому що моя дитина загинула в цю повномасштабку. І ми сьогодні тут зустрічали знов загиблого. Та я як мама загиблого не хочу нікому бажати того горя, того суму, того болю, відчаю, тих сліз.
Добре, що вони хоча б зустрілися, це по-перше, а по-друге, все одно прийшли не з чим. Поспілкувались там, да, і щойно закінчилась розмова з Зеленським у Трампа, і будемо чекати результатів. Але сподіваємось на третю, ось коли буде три сторони і європейські лідери, а там можливо щось так буде.